You cannot talk about the old northeast neighborhood of St. Petersburg without talking about this place, the Vinoy. It opened December 31st, 1925, a grand place. Back then, these solariums allowed guests to enjoy the sun in total privacy.
The roof lifted up and the side fell down. The sun would enter the building, and originally they were on rollers. So the staff would rotate the building, so the guest was always exposed to the sun. You didn't have to pick up your chair and move it. That was all taken care of for you. Very early example of the service that you get here at the Vinoy.
Along the way, the Vinoy was a lot of things, even leased to the U.S. War Department to train troops during World War II. And times change. The place fell into disrepair. Residents of the Old Northeast among those who wanted to bring the Vinoy back. They have. Look at the recently remodeled ballroom. That's a Dale Chihuly chandelier. If the Vinoy anchors one side of the Old Northeast, Sunken Gardens anchors the other. The Turner family bought the land in 1903. George Turner knew that this sinkhole would be great for growing things. And that he did. This is the old homestead. This is it today. The house is gone. The 250-year-old live oak still here. Sunken Gardens became what we know it as today because of one big thing. In 1924, the Gandy Bridge was built. Tourists flocked to St. Pete and to Sunken Gardens. Some of them never left.
You have to remember the historic significance of the Turner family at Turner Sunken Gardens. For a long time, they were masters of marketing, and they would say, come to the Sunshine City, come to Sunken Gardens. And a lot of people would come here, and they would see, what the garden was and be so enthralled and excited about it that they ended up moving here. And so consequently, the people that live here now, their parents and their grandparents moved here because of Sunken Gardens.
In between Sunken Gardens and the Vinoy, the homes of the Old Northeast, gorgeous homes. National Register of Historic Places homes. This book, Souvenir of St. Petersburg, Views from the Vinoy, is designed for children. Produced by the historic Old Northeast Neighborhood Association, it has some remarkable pictures and stories. Stories of people you know. Stories of dreamers.
We had Perry Snell, we had George Turner at Sunken Gardens, we had Eimer Vinoy Lofner, we had George Gandy with the bridge. All these people were involved in the neighborhood and loved the neighborhood and knew what would be, visions for the future.
And what a vision they had all these years later. A neighborhood that is beautiful and full of neighborly pride. And that book, this book, has been placed in every elementary school in St. Petersburg. It's also for sale in St. Pete and Tampa. So we'll be talking more about those kinds of things later and how they love celebrating Halloween in the Old Northeast.